Hey, what's up? Checking in again, you know. Trying to take my time because I got a lot on my mind, so, you know, live, you know what I'm saying? Like, like what you subscribe to. But check it out. Why does it always seem like we subscribe, for lack of a better term, to the point of view someone else has of us? And then we allow that to govern our actions. You know what I'm saying? Why does that seem like that's the case more times than not? Think about this, you know what I'm saying? Picture there's a blank canvas, you know? There's a painter that has a brush, you know what I'm saying? And they're painting an image. Now picture that painter using poisonous ink or poisonous paint. You see what I'm saying? So therefore the image will be tainted, no matter what image that painter creates. So why would you subscribe to that image? You feel me? Why would you subscribe to that viewpoint? And you know, it seems like where we live currently, everything that's right for us is wrong in general as a consensus. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works for us, those who are underneath the status quo or the upper level, you know what I'm saying? Whatever works for us is criminalized, demonized. You know what I'm saying? It's not the right thing. So why would you allow that to govern your actions? If that person is against you, no matter what you do, from day one, from your conception, if they were against you, why would you even subscribe to what they're saying you are? That's on a microcosm level, you know what I'm saying? In your everyday life, that can affect you doing what you need to do despite somebody's point of view, doing what you have to do to elevate, grow, or develop. On a mass scale, you know what I'm saying? What the media promotes, people soak up, people believe because of the view that's painted, the image that's portrayed, you know what I'm saying? That's a hindrance for a lot of people. That goes back to allowing somebody else to define success for you. If you allow somebody to define not only your success, but who you are as a human being, as a person, you know what I'm saying? Therefore, you are hindered or you're governed by however that person dictates you should govern yourself. They have your mind, you know what I'm saying? And if they don't have your best interests at heart, them having your mind, that's your detriment, you know what I'm saying? That's your devastation. That's it. So I was just, you know what I'm saying, trying to think as to why that would be the case. That's how sensationalism is able to be promoted the way it is. That's how people are able to be conditioned to operate in a certain manner because of the view, you know what I'm saying, that's painted to you, that you subscribe to. Why? Think about this for a second, food for thought. You don't have to believe what I'm telling you. You don't have to agree, none of that. Picture this for a second. All those who share my heritage, you feel what I'm saying? How are you told, since a youngster, how are you told that our ancestors were brought here? You know what I'm saying? How are you told we arrived here? On ships, right? Right? So I would submit to you, my deposit would be, why would you believe what's been taught to you by those who oppressed you? You know what I'm saying? Those who held you down, held you captive. To this day. I'm not talking about in the past. I'm talking about what you're dealing with day to day in your day-to-day life. People that you recognize have animus for you, animosity towards you, just because of who you are. They didn't have any reason to, you know what I'm saying, prejudge you, but because their prejudice is dominant, their bias is dominant, they can exert, you know what I'm saying, that poison on you strictly because of who you are in your everyday life. You see what I'm saying? Why would you subscribe to what that person or the people who believe as they believe submit to you? in return, you know what I'm saying? Let me share this part with you. I will submit to you, what if, you know what I'm saying, we were already here? What if we, you know what I'm saying, were a line of defense for what they were fighting to sustain what they conquered? You know what I'm saying? That would then in turn make us prisoners of war in this country. And let me tell you why those who despise you wouldn't tell you that as a youngster and put that thought in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you why. Any conflict where there are more people than just one person in conflict with another, if there's a group in conflict with another group, morale is key. You have to have morale. Morale meaning devotion, dedication, pride, you know what I'm saying? Enthusiasm for the sake of the cause, for the sake of whoever your conflict is against. Morale is necessary. You know what I'm saying? So if you were taught, would this build or lower your morale? If you were taught that all those before you who were like you, that came before you, laid the seed for you to be here, they were just servants. You know what I'm saying? They were always under somebody else. Or, you know what I'm saying? Would this boost or lower your morale? You know what I'm saying? Those who came before you were warriors. They were soldiers, you know what I'm saying? And then they just happened to be casualties or prisoners of war. Things didn't work out for the people at that time, our people at that time. They just got overtaken by those who had more armament, you know what I'm saying? Who had better equipment or more modern equipment. Let me say that. More modern equipment. You see what I'm saying? It was just happenstance that it went that way. What made it wicked, though, is to perpetuate a sense of inferiority, superiority, which creates the complex in the youth, the young, who are offsprings of either party. You know what I'm saying? Either side. For one, it's a detriment. To the other, is necessary to sustain what was gained by wicked means. You know what I'm saying? Again, why would you subscribe to what was told to you by those who have been fighting against you and yours for centuries? Forget decades, centuries. 100 years, like centuries. And you would believe what was submitted to you. I will also say those of us who were here, the reason that they had understanding of a different tribe in a different land is because we told them. We fed them the knowledge. We gave it to them, thinking that they were genuine. Picture this. If I'm cultivating the land, right, I have understanding of the terrain. You know what I'm saying? I understand how to cultivate, how to harvest, grow. I know the seasons because I'm indigenous to this land. If somebody comes to take or comes and it's all new, we not knowing they taking. We thinking it's just a new face, you feel me, a new acquaintance. Let me share what I have. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Let me share those things with you, man. You know what I'm saying? You a human being as I am. Not knowing this person is coming with wicked or ulterior motives, you feel me? So as you share your understanding, your knowledge, this person with superior or modern equipment at the time has the abilities to subject those who cultivate the land or who create on the land, the creators. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you know what I'm saying? By wicked or deceptive means, let me promote to you that, hey, we on the run from a different land because they're not giving us our rights over here. Man, get down with us, man. Like, man, look out for us, bro. We trying to find a different place to go to reside, you know what I'm saying? We don't got no problems, which is, we found out later in life, you know, as history went on, that was not the truth, you feel me? Hey, we don't got no issue, man. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's all good. Let me teach you how to, you know, cultivate, grow. This how you develop this, and you know what I'm saying? The seasons change like this, and yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then if you need extra soldiers, you feel me? We came from a tribe way over across the sea. I see you came with boats and everything like that. Man, we came from over there, you know what I'm saying? So, we over there. We could navigate that for you, all that. Drop all the knowledge they needed necessary to subject us in the future because of the wicked intentions of the motives. Therefore, their view of us was less than. And then as we come to the current time, their view is still of us less than because of what their predecessors did to our ancestors, you feel me? And then to this present day, we allow their view or their say to dictate how we operate. That's what I don't understand. You feel me? That's my only thought. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that part. Again, if we are the ones in control of not only us and our self-preservation, if we dictate how we elevate, how we see how our success will be obtained, how can we allow somebody else to shape and reframe how we see not only us, but our path and what we see as necessary for our loved ones to be elevated and no longer under? You know what I'm saying? Why would you let that person who's in competition with your people, with you, to dictate how you operate? And then let's take it back to the microcosm level, man. When you face to face or interacting with people in your circumference, you know what I'm saying, in your perimeter, you know what I'm saying, in your vicinity, you know what I'm saying, when you operating amongst those people, why are you allowing what somebody else and what they got going on and what they say of you dictate how you operate? You leaving your self-esteem in charge of somebody who, first off, probably don't even know you to begin with. Let's start right there. They probably don't even know you to even form any kind of understanding or judgment of you. And you allow a person like that to dictate how you operate, how you move around, how you get you, how you getting you on behalf of those that's with you, your family, your loved ones. Because a person like that prejudge you off rip, you know what I'm saying, out the gate, they ain't had no love in their heart to begin with. When they saw you, they did you like them people did us. You know what I'm saying? Saw you and saw inferior. Because they already forming an assumption before they even know you. And you will allow that kind of person, that person with that view of you, to dictate how you should operate. Your self-esteem, your self-worth. Huh? You tell me if that makes sense to you, man. Tell me if I'm wrong, you know what I'm saying? Comment down below. My advisors told me to say that. This whole thing is new to me, man, so I'm trying to get it together, you know what I'm saying? But comment, what you know what I'm saying? Let me know. Am I wrong, bro? Because to me, that's kind of insane, you know? That's kind of insane to me. I don't get that. So therefore, that being said, let me deposit this to you. You can either receive it or decline it, you know what I'm saying? But let me deposit this. Once you have taken back the, you know what I'm saying, the reverence of somebody's view of you, altering how you operate and move around, once you've taken that back, what's stopping you, you know what I'm saying, from doing you, from getting you? What's stopping you? And I can tell you what's stopping you, being realistic. Society. Because again, it's all about numbers is everything. There's power in numbers, you know what I'm saying? There's strength in numbers. There's support in numbers. You know what I'm saying? And numbers meaning people of like mind. Because among your number, if there's people that are about dissension, then that number is going to be disintegrated. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have people in large numbers that are of like mind. That's where your strength comes from, because you're moving as a unit. You're not moving as we arguing all along the way. The whole time we trying to get to where we get to is always this person going at this person and this person saying this about this person. And this. Nah, we all moving as a unit, so therefore there's your strength. You know what I'm saying? And it just so happens, because we are so discombobulated mentally, being conditioned to be discombobulated when it comes to each other, not trying to find no common ground, and we're not moving as a unit, we're already, according to their census, you know what I'm saying, a lower population in this country. So therefore, just by way of numbers, and we could talk about positions and all that kind of stuff too, resources, all that too, but just by way of numbers, because we have it made up in our mind that the census that they tell us, the numbers that are in this country, the population, is what it is. So therefore, just by numbers, they got us. But the silver lining is if the group that is smaller than the larger group can become a cohesive unit and solid, not only in their thinking, in their aim, you know what I'm saying, in their goals, sensibilities, understanding, if they're all on one accord with all those things, all things can be achieved with no question, with no doubt in my mind, with no question. Because look at how those who have subjected us to servitude for so long, how they did what they did. Not to say we should imitate our adversary. We can pick up along the way lessons that can be useful in how we get to what we're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? We can definitely do that, but to imitate wholeheartedly, step by step, everything they know, because we not built the same, cut from different cloth. You know what I'm saying? We're not on the same wavelength, frequency, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but if we pick up that part and become a cohesive unit and all on one accord, that smaller group just being solid can overcome or withstand in the vein of self-defense or self-preservation, can withstand anything. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in a sense, it might be up to the younger to guide the older, in a sense, kind of like on a reverse kind of thing. Because what works for one doesn't work for the next. Talking about nations, nationalities, cultures, things like that. What works for one doesn't work for the other. And then that's in every case, on a personal level too. You could read somebody's biography, see how they got success, but times change, circumstances change, regions make things different. You know what I'm saying? Location is big, timing is everything. You can't follow every step for step, and expect to get the same success that the next man got, because that's the way they did. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna guarantee you anything imitating another. So all that being said, the lessons we can pick up from the things that they did and apply to what we got going on, that'll make us impenetrable. You know what I'm saying? Unstoppable. But the sad reality is this is an individualistic society, and everybody's all about getting their own. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's all about getting their own. Think about this. When the George Floyd situation happened, right? Nothing, peace to everybody, you know what I'm saying? But think about this. All it would have took was for one person to make up in their mind, hey, it's not finna go like this, and I'm finna push this officer, this, you know what I'm saying? We can call him whatever in the book, you know what I'm saying? We could throw the book at him like they throw it at us, you know what I'm saying, as far as what we can call him, you feel me? Push this character off of him, you know what I'm saying? His brother would still believe it. But in the society we live in now, it's no telling the motive behind why somebody will film another brother losing his life. And I'm not gonna sit here and speculate or anything like that, because different strokes for different folks, let me say it like that. But had there been one person in the crowd to be like, yo, and just ran up, it would have been a scene, because the brother was recording, obviously, so everything would have been caught on film, you know what I'm saying? But at least that step was made on behalf of another. That's you valuing your brother, you know what I'm saying? That's you valuing that which is you. That's you holding to high regard your brethren, your comrade. But as the fact remains, you know what I'm saying, that didn't occur, and we saw what happened. That goes back to morale, you know what I'm saying? All it takes is enthusiasm and dedication and devotion. You know why the Muslims were feared so much, or still is feared, like Islamic faith and all that kind of thing? Because eye for an eye mean you would dedicate your life for the cause, for your love of Allah. You know what I'm saying? As it was told to me throughout my journeys. I'm not a Muslim or anything like that. It's all love, peace, love, everything. But as it was told to me, that dedication allows you to lay down your life or sacrifice your life because for something outside of yourself, if the cause is worthy. Not just for any reason, you know what I'm saying? But of course, you know what I'm saying, as far as faith is concerned, you know? And yeah, so therefore, if the enthusiasm was there, the regard, the love, you know what I'm saying? The respect could come after that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come naturally because love for self, you're gonna radiate that externally. When you go out to wherever you go out to, whoever you mingle with, it's gonna radiate. And people are gonna see that. And that love for self, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna make or it's gonna demand that you get the respect because you're saying to yourself how you how you present yourself that you're worthy of respect because you got love for yourself. And then therefore anything that resembles what you are, who comes from what you come from, you're gonna have that same love externally for that. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? If my enemy, your enemy, my enemy, you know what I'm saying, our enemy got his knee on your neck, you know, that's me right there. I'm looking at me on the ground with knee on neck. I wouldn't want a knee on my neck. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't seem right. You know, like, wow. And I can go into detail about what I believe we should start doing and should have did and all this kind of thing. And I've had that conversation with close comrades, loved ones, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to do this on the soapbox, you know. All love. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, so don't let somebody's view of you make you or govern your actions, how you operate, how you move. Keep it you. Love you. You know what I'm saying? And then love those that are of you or from you. You know what I'm saying? Or like you. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like in this country, what it's going to take for things to get back on track is every tribe meaning every culture, every ethnicity, every race. I guess this country is built based on race, so we'll say race. Every race be accountable for their own race, which means tribe. So when I say tribe, that's what I mean. So if every tribe is accountable for their own, you know what I'm saying, whether good or bad, you take credit for the good and you hold accountable the bad, you know what I'm saying? Things to get on track and really mean it though. Don't just be doing it for show and because you know there's gonna be millions of viewers seeing you, you just pretend and, you know, act and, you know, all that fakeness, put it out the window. But if they really are serious about getting things straight in this country, how things are now, how things are turning for the worse, it seems like, everybody should be responsible for their own tribe. And that includes us, you know what I'm saying? And just me being who I am, because I self-reflect, and before I point out and criticize somebody else, I'll look at myself and be like, okay, I could tighten up right here. I could, you know, I could proceed this way. I probably shouldn't have did that, but I could have did. You know what I'm saying? That self-evaluation will allow you, you know what I'm saying, it will allow you to be empathetic in a way. You know what I'm saying? You won't be so hard on somebody else because you don't look that, you took responsibility for what you contributed to misunderstanding, conflict, whatever. Now, that's not to say that you just give somebody the benefit of the doubt and let them off the hook and, you know what I'm saying, play devil's advocate against yourself. Don't do that. I'm saying hold yourself accountable, but also hold those who slight you accountable. But first look at you. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, me looking at us being, you know, for the sake of self-preservation, being honest, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people among us that are conditioned. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are a detriment to the rest of us, bro. And that's just as real as it get, bro. Some of us are a detriment to the rest of us because of the outlook, the mentality. Everything starts as an idea. What's the difference between an idea and a plan? Take your time, you know what I'm saying? There's no wrong answers. What's the difference between an idea and a plan? An idea is a thought in your mind, but once you put the action to the idea, it becomes a plan, bro. It ain't no plan if you're not busting no move. You see what I'm saying? So ideas are great for brainstorming, building as far as intellectually and, you know what I'm saying, getting it into the atmosphere. And then once you put it out from your mouth verbally, you know what I'm saying, you can manifest whatever. You can manifest it, good or bad. Once it leaves your lips and it becomes an idea, all it takes is the action behind that idea to put the plan in motion. That being said, you know what I'm saying? Start thinking highly, you know what I'm saying, of those of like kind, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, being so critical to the point was almost like you devil's advocate against your brother. You was justify everything else, but when it comes to something that look like you, someone that look like you, I mean, you know, or your comrade supposedly supposed to be, by way of kin, you know what I'm saying, by way of common struggle, by way of heritage, by way of lineage, whatever you want to say, bro. Just off GP until they give you reason to. That's a whole nother topic too. If somebody give you reason not to treat them with respect, don't keep giving that person respect or kindness or grace or whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep doing that, because then, you know, you'll become bitter. You'll just become bitter. You'll start to become jaded and start to hate people. And I almost fell into that a few times in my life. But what I had to realize is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's understanding is not the same. Nobody's always going to be on the same page about everything. And then you can only manifest what's in you. So according to your understanding, that's how you proceed. You see what I'm saying? Now, don't let slide things like thievery and, you know what I'm saying, disrespect to the family, you know, all that kind of stuff. Don't let that slide. But I'm talking about natural miscommunications or actions based in misinterpretation that happens between human beings, which is gonna happen to everybody, happens to everybody. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your tribesmen, you know what I'm saying, your kinsmen supposedly, give the benefit of the doubt, man, to an extent. Don't be so critical. We all trying to figure things out, man. We all seeing the same drama that they put on the news and all on our timeline or whatever social networking that you subscribe to or find entertainment through, or your news or whatever you be on, and you see all these news clippings and you hear all this is going on, bruh, we all feel the same and see the same thing, bruh, so should be, supposedly. And that's me giving us the benefit of the doubt as a tribe, you know what I'm saying? Supposedly, we all feel and see the same thing. Because we can see the same thing, but not see it the same way. You know what I'm saying? You can see it, you'll have a take on it, I'll have a take on it, we convene, and we realize, damn, we looked at the same thing. How did you didn't see it like this, though? Like, bro, that's plain as day. How you didn't? Because you would literally get people, this hurt me to my heart, bro. I heard one, like, supposedly a tribesman, man, say that, bro, if he would have complied to the orders of the supposed, quote unquote, air quotes, you know what I'm saying, officers, he would have left with his life. How do you mean, though, bro? What more could the brother have done to maintain his life? He didn't do anything to warrant him losing it in the first place. No matter what was done, what was said, whatever kind of speculation they want to throw into the mix, man, that still don't warrant you taking the man's life. Nothing he could have did. According to them, there's still a process. You know what I'm saying? Court of law, you know what I'm saying? Be judged by either the judge or 12 jurors and all that. It ain't gonna be a juror of our peers, of course. We know that. But still, the process should still had happened, as opposed to holding court in the street. It's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? If we get on some, you know, fire for fire, you know, eye for eye kind of thing, bruh, like, who's to say we would be wrong if we chose to proceed that way? And I don't think we should just jump into it. If we're gonna do that, we need to organize it, strategize it, then mobilize it. But you know what I'm saying, though. This is not for that. That right there is not for this, is what I mean to say. But anyway, you feel what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying? But like I say, bro, you will get people that are supposed to be of us that will say things like that. You have to look at them like, bro, are you serious? And we can't even be on the same page about that. How are we supposed to proceed? And then even the younger ones, you know what I'm saying? The jits that's watching us. How are we supposed to, in their presence, even begin to discuss with them how to build anything when our actions don't even dictate that we even have the dedication to build anything? You know what I'm saying? How can we even start to do that? We're gonna come off top as hypocritical because your actions is what make the impression on the youngsters because they observe everything, bro. If you ever been around some youngsters, man, some little ones, they looking at everything and they'll mimic and do everything you doing. You know what I'm saying? I had a homegirl, Kiki, met her young one, you know what I'm saying, her little one. I ain't mean to say her name on here either, bro. I probably got it. She can edit that out, but yeah, man, I had to smack a cigarette out his hand because he seen, you know, his mom smoking one. I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? And he 3 years old. So they pick up, and that's why I revere feminine energy so much because of that aspect, that ability to create life or bring forth life into this. Think about this. Every human being that's on earth right now came from a woman. You know what I'm saying? Conventional wisdom, I know that's like, yeah, of course, but think about that though for a second. Every human being on earth, billions, possibly trillions, I don't know the number, somewhere around there, but every person came from a woman who had in labor pushed out another human being to breathe breath on earth. Bro, that's amazing to me, man. That's why I feel as though the essence, not every woman, not every female, because every female is not a woman. You know what I'm saying? We can get into that. Of course, many would disagree. But like I said, though, genuine women, you know what I'm saying? Women with genuine feminine energy, that's why I feel innately they have the ability to empathize. You know what I'm saying? Because think about that. You got to be the most considerate person to carry another human being before it's even developed, flesh, eyes, all that kind of stuff. Make sure it's nourished and everything. You got to be a considerate person. You got to be um, devoted, kind, compassionate, empathetic, all that to take care of something that's within you. And you yourself are fragile. As a human beings, mortality is fragile, bro. And anything that's fragile, that carries another thing that's even more fragile and is able to allow it to, you know what I'm saying, breathe breath and go through life and whatever, that's amazing to me, man, for real. So it's like, that's the thing that should make you want to get on one accord as far as a tribe is concerned and the community is concerned, for that sake right there. Because if we lose that precious resource, the ability to procreate, you know what I'm saying? There's no hope for anything beyond this, you know what I'm saying? Everything that we've produced thus far will cease to exist if tomorrow it's been determined that every black woman can no longer reproduce ever in life, ever again. It's over. There's nothing to leave behind. There's no opportunity, because once you leave and become an ancestor, the energy that remains needs to be, you know what I'm saying, needs to feed into the next to be, to inspire, to that spirit, you know what I'm saying? And of course, I'm not a religious person or anything like that. I do believe I'm a spiritual person. I feel like that. And not in a marginalized way, like people like to try to make that almost kind of like religion is. Like, are you religious? Like, religious, like you go to church and you like be quoting Bible scriptures all the time. That's what I think of as religion. Because, you know, that's a whole nother topic. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, man. So bottom line, don't let another human being with flesh and blood shape your view of you, you know what I'm saying, and allow you to be, or don't allow yourself to be governed by another's version or vision of you. You know what I'm saying? You create the narrative. You be the one to say and stand on what you say. You know what I'm saying? You be the one. Don't leave it up to somebody else, because you can't trust that that person has your best interest at heart. So therefore, once you repaired and build yourself, then you can, you know what I'm saying, seek that of like kind as far as mentally and spiritually. But until you do that, don't put that in somebody else's hand, right? Because it's over. Like a shattered dream, you know what I'm saying? You left with nothing but hurt feelings, bro, and disillusionment, and disappointment, and regrets, and whatever, you know? So, but yeah, man, just food for thought for the night. Everybody sleep tight, you know? Stay on your toes, and yeah. Coming at you live, man. So like and subscribe. Like what you subscribe to. Yes, indeed.